Hey guys, Marsingin here bringing on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we saw the part 2 characters announced on the live stream earlier. Obviously we have them up here on the screen. The new Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel plus Super Saiyan Goku Angel that will transform into Gogeta. I'm actually going to be very interested to see what the other active skill is, right? Because this unit does seem to very much follow the same blueprint as the Tech Vegito. So assumingly one of the characters has an active skill where they don't fuse. So that'll be quite cool to see. We've got Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, standalone Super Saiyan 2. And then we have a reversible exchange card that is Frieza, Final Form Angel plus Goku. So the difference between the Vegito is the Gogeta card's going to start out as Vegeta, and then this new Goku and Frieza card, you actually start off as Frieza. So I guess Frieza will be like the summonable SSR, and then it becomes reversible exchange with Goku. So on the stream, as expected, all we got to see was the card arts, and then they did show a brief teaser of the animation, but obviously we weren't expecting to see actual card details or any of the kits or anything like that. So I thought we would do this video for today to speculate about the potential leader skills for these units, because of course we know that the Goku and Vegeta are going to be the Dokkan Fest, the other two are going to be the Carnivals, and of course now that we've seen the part 1 units, we know what the leader skill format is potentially going to be, right? Like the Carnival LRs are going to have a single category that is 220%, and then the Dokkan Fest is going to have 3, most likely to keep in line with the Vegito, 3 170 categories, and then well, I say 170, 3 categories that are 200% to HP, 170 to attack and defense, and then plus 50% to 2 other categories. So we're going to jump in and speculate here. These are just my early thoughts. Do let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But if we take a look at the new Gogeta, obviously this is just the old joined forces Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Gogeta, but we don't have a proper wiki page up for these guys, and it's easy to see when we look at these. Now, bearing in mind, because it's a reversible exchange character, they will get all of the separate categories, but we can see some of the categories that these guys are on, and obviously that gives us a good impression of what some of these categories they're going to get for their leader skills will be. Because, as I said, I do think we are very much going to follow this format, right, with the Vegito leader skill. So we've got Earth Protecting Heroes, Fused Fighters, Pure Saiyans, and then Earthbred Fighters or Potara. So one of the big things that I think we will see for this Gogeta is I think Fused Fighters will be one of his 170 leads as well, and then he'll have Fusion as the plus 50% instead of Potara, because it just kind of makes sense to mirror them in that way. Now the interesting thing is Pure Saiyans and Earth Protecting Heroes, like even these guys, the Goku and Vegeta from Fusion Reborn, I guess probably just because it is Goku and Vegeta, right, but they are still on Earth Protecting Heroes. Something that would be kind of interesting, and something that we used to see with Anniversary LRs quite a lot, is I wouldn't be surprised if their leader skills are very similar. Like, it'd be kind of crazy, but their leader skills could be almost exactly the same, except with just Fusion as one of the plus 50s, right? They could still have Pure Saiyans, they could still have Earth Protecting Heroes. The only thing that I think would definitely be different, actually, is the Earthbred Fighters being the plus 50%, because the card starts off as Vegeta, and even though the card is a Vegeta and Goku, with the new reversible exchange mechanic, it obviously means the card will be on Earthbred Fighters. But it just seems odd, I guess, for a card that starts off as Vegeta to have a leader skill that has Earthbred Fighters. I know it doesn't matter because the card is in the category, but obviously we don't want the leader skills to be too similar. So it'll be interesting. I think they'll go one of the two ways with it, right? Where it'll either just be very, very different, or the leader skills will just be really, really similar. I'm not sure if they would throw Pure Saiyans on there again, but obviously it's always a good leader skill for a Goku and Vegeta card to have. But yeah, a couple that we could throw into the mix. I think like these guys, because they're on Earth at the time, even though they're going to be on Earth Protecting Heroes, the new unit, I could see something like Earth Protecting Heroes being replaced with Other World Warriors, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that is an absolute downgrade, because this is not a very good category for the most part. Obviously there are a bunch of characters on here that are pretty good, and more buffs will come, I suppose, in the future, but You know, the AGL Pycon, Easy A, something that we should be expecting fairly soon. But yeah, I mean, this category, definitely not very good. But when characters have 3 170 leads, one of them being a slightly smaller category is not necessarily the end of the world. Something else that we could potentially see is Final Trump card. Obviously, this is a one synonymous with all of the fusions. I think most fusion cards, if not all of them, are on here. So this is obviously a good one for them, especially if it was one of the plus 50s. So you can get the all the fused fighter characters under their full leader skill. Like if Fused Fighters was one of their 170s and then Final Trump card was the plus 50, you would get a lot of characters onto this leader skill. So this one is the one that is, I think, whilst very interesting, one of the ones that is a bit less like, I'm less curious to speculate for how this is going to stack up, because I do think they are going to follow a very similar setup to this Goku and Vegeta card. Because if they start messing around with the 170s too much, like imagine if it was other World Warriors, Fused Fighters, and then instead of Pure Saiyans, it was something else as well. Like these guys aren't on a ton of great categories, and obviously they're not going to be putting them on like their leader skill. They're not going to have Goku family or Vegeta family, because even though they're in those categories, it would just be very odd for that to be one of their leader skills, unless it had both, which I think is very unlikely. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Fused Fighters and then Fusion instead of Potara, and then we could still, I think, see Earth Protecting Heroes or Pure Saiyans as part of the 170. And then Earthbred Fighters changing for the plus 50. So let me know what you guys think. But for Gogeta, I think the leader skill is not going to be too dissimilar from Vegito, but I guess we will have to wait and see. Now, the next big one is the Frieza and Goku. Now, these guys, again, when it comes to reversible exchange, they're going to be on all the categories that both the characters are on. But I guess as we're yet to see a lot of reversible exchange characters, we don't know how they're going to handle what they want to do with the leader skills. But again, it would be very weird that even though they're on both the categories, the card is say leading, let's say, Wicked Bloodline, when obviously the whole point is that you exchange into Goku. So this is being a Carnival LR, they're going to have one category 220%. So I think it makes sense that it's probably going to be one of these categories that the Goku and Frieza combo is actually on. Which is a little bit worrying potentially, because obviously in terms of categories that they're on and categories that we've gotten leader skills for recently, like Blue Evolution Vegeta from part 1 is a Universe Survival Saga leader, so you could almost rule that out completely. I mean, there is a possibility they just give that to them as well, but I think that's very unlikely. Reps of Universe 7 is kind of a likely one, but kind of a scary one, because it's basically Universe Survival Saga but smaller, so just objectively a worse leader skill. The category is not that big. The team build obviously is just going to kind of come down to the same setup that we run with this team already. It'd be funny if these guys are actually really good and better than Vegeta. The new Vegeta doesn't actually make the best build of this team. I could actually see that being the case depending on how good these guys are. The other option, of course, is tournament participants, which, while still not ideal, is not as bad, because it has all the Tournament of Power characters, but then we also get like the Cell Games characters. You've got like the Bojack characters in here as well. So it's not like the craziest category, of course, but definitely would be a step up from it just being Reps of Universe 7. Now, an interesting one, because they are on this category, would be Battle of Fate. Because Battle of Fate is a strong category, right? Like, look at all the LRs that we have on here. Actual decent characters, right? Got the new Goku on here, AGLUI obviously still very good, Full Power Frieza getting his Easy A soon, would obviously link well with the Frieza part of the card. We got Tech UI, like there's good characters on this thing. Like Namek Goku's on here too, right? So that'd be kind of funny that you could have both these guys on the team, and one of them, they're each going to link well with one part of the exchange card. Beast is on here. Like Battle of Fate is definitely a very good category, so that would be a solid choice for them. And then of course we also have All Out Struggle as well, that these guys are on, which again has a couple of decent LRs, a couple of characters that are going to be getting Easy A soon. Obviously we've got the Physical Trio, who need an All Out Struggle character on rotation with them in order to get their buffs, so them getting a new, like them getting an actual 220 lead would be quite good. They'd be a solid buff for this team. The Gammas are on there, Future Gohan. I really want to see Future Gohan on a 220 team, because he's not on Earth Protecting Heroes, which is a little bit of a shame for him. But yeah, these guys, I think I had people telling me in the comments, right, it's because Earth Protecting Heroes is supposed to be for characters who did actually win, right, like they actually protected the Earth, whereas Future Gohan, of course, got taken out by the androids. But my argument for that is that this guy he has the like what if active skill, which I feel like implies he actually wins with that like active skill attack, right? But still, I think it's mad disrespect for him to not be on there, because he tried at least, right? So yeah, him getting a 220 lead would be fun, but all out struggle would definitely be a potential category for the Frieza and Goku exchange card as well. So let me know what you guys think down below. Will be the solo category for them. And then of course that leads us to the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who I know is heavily anticipated. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is a very, very popular character and always has been. We haven't had a standalone one for quite some time, so I'm definitely looking forward to him. We did see some, I guess not like leaks, but the people that went to the live event that the live stream was at, someone made a post on Reddit who was there at the event. They actually showed I think the active skills for the characters, but they didn't show them obviously on the stream. They just showed them to the people that were at the fan meetup. And I'm not going to talk about it too much, but like the comment basically was saying that this Gohan has the best quality father son Kamehameha that we've seen so far as his active skill, which is quite exciting to see. So this guy, he's on a lot of interesting categories that he could get saddled with as a 220 lead, because my main fear for this guy is that they follow along with sort of what they did with Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and he ends up getting a category lead that is not particularly great and ends up being the unit that you ideally just want to pull, because then he's going to be super good on a bunch of other teams, but he's not going to be a particularly good leader. So if you don't pull him, it's going to be difficult to build a good team and run him as a friend, because there's a lot of possibilities for this guy. Best case scenario is like Power Beyond Super Saiyan, right? Because Power Beyond Super Saiyan is one of the best categories in the game, with the amount of characters it has on here. So this would be an absolute crazy leader skill. I don't think it would be this. I think there's a reason why they've never done a 200% Power Beyond Super Saiyan lead so far, because they know how powerful that team would be. So just straight up then giving them a 220 lead, I think is maybe a little bit unlikely. And then of course the opposite end of the scale, the worst case scenario, is he gets Super Saiyan 2 as a 200% leader skill. Because, I mean, look how small this category is. In terms of usable characters, we've got the Tech Vegeta, obviously with his Easy A. We've got the Angel Vegeta. I mean, we could see this in Gohan get a Super Easy A, because there's still one more slot for Android / Cell Saga. But then we drop down into the TURs, and I mean, like, who here is actually usable? Like, that Future Trunks was okay on release, but with the power creep that we've had since then, he's probably not runnable in these difficult events. Daima Goku's on there, so I guess he's good. The Int Goku with his Easy A, I'm not a huge fan of him, but obviously he could go with the Vegeta. There's the Int Margin Vegeta that could get an Easy A around the time of like the next Saiyan Day, I guess, because he was the Saiyan Day release after Int Broly, and Broly's had his Easy A. Kefla, I mean, she can still be good for damage, but she's kind of a dodge or die character against tough bosses. And then that physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Like, there's only really one viable build of the team, and even then it's definitely not a solid team, unless Gohan himself is like an ultimate slot 1 tank. That team is really not going to be very good. So Super Saiyan 2 is definitely, we don't want to see that, right? We could see Android / Cell Saga, right? Vegeta got Universe Survival Saga. So this one would be interesting. Obviously, we've got some interesting characters on here in terms of like the LRs. We still know we're getting one more Easy A. We've got Future Gohan, we already mentioned him. But the thing is, you look at the LRs in this category, and now that we don't have the pre-anniversary temporary buffs, like, none of these guys are really particularly great. And then even with the TURs, like, this is a very outdated category at this point. Tech Super Trunks, obviously the meme that he is. I guess Tech Saiyan Day Vegeta is still pretty good, and with a 220 lead, that would be quite nice for him. But overall, this category definitely needs a lot of work and a lot of like future Easy A's. Hot Virus Goku should be really good. This Goku and Gohan exchange unit should be good. I really want this LR Goku and Gohan to get an Easy A, but this category itself needs a lot of help before it would make a viable like single category 220 team. An interesting one would be Kamehameha, But I feel like this one is less likely because we just got a 200% lead for this from the worldwide celebration. So it's like, would they then invalidate the worldwide celebration Family Kamehameha Gohan by then just straight away bringing out a 220 lead for Kamehameha? I could see it because the father-son Kamehameha is one of the most popular ones of the franchise. I mean, it's the same reason why it made sense for the Family Kamehameha unit to have Kamehameha as a leader skill, but I feel like they wouldn't invalidate his lead this early by making him a 220 for Kamehameha. Although the other interesting one, because, you know, it is the father-son Kamehameha, is bond of parent and child. But this is kind of up there with like Power Beyond Super Saiyan, right, as being like one of the best categories in the game. I mean, it literally has the other 3 anniversary LRs that we've had released on here so far, and of course with Frieza and Goku having the reverse exchange, so they'll have everyone's categories, they would be on this team as well. And then of course we know the Goku and Vegeta / Gogeta headliner is going to be on here as well. So bond of parent and child, that would actually be insane. Like, the team could literally just be all 6 of the anniversary LRs on a 220% leader skill. So I kind of hope they do that now just for the memes of like being able to run that team. But yeah, maybe this one is a little bit too good. So out of these categories that we've mentioned, I think he is also on All Out Struggle. He's on Entrusted Will. He's on Battle of Fate as well, so if Frieza and Goku don't get Battle of Fate, that could be an interesting one for this guy. I don't think Demonic Power will get a 220 lead after we got Slug and then Glorio with the 200 lead really close to each other and only about a month or so ago, right, for Glorio. Earth Protecting Heroes could be an option, right? If it's not part of Gogeta's leader skill as well, even though it is part of Vegeto's leader skill, just having a straight up 220 lead for it could be interesting. Miraculous Awakening, Bond of Master and Disciple, Full Power, I guess could be an interesting one. Goku Family, I guess it could be, because again, that still sort of links back to the Family Kamehameha, like, or Father-Son Kamehameha, right, being specifically Goku and Gohan. And that would be good, because of course the anniversary Vegeta and Gogeta would both be on here as well. So there's a couple of interesting options for Gohan. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. When it comes to all 3 of the Part 2 anniversary headliners, what do you think their leader skills will be? What do you hope they would be if you could choose? Or what do you think they will be realistically? Like I say, if we could just pick whatever we want, right? Like Gohan being Power Beyond Super Saiyan would be absolutely fantastic. I think for the Goku and Frieza, I guess Battle of Fate is like the best choice out of the categories that they have. And then for Gogeta, I do actually think the best bet is to keep it very similar to this leader skill. And then change out Potara for Fusion. Maybe have switch Earthbred Fighters to like Final Trump card or something, right? And then keep the 170s exactly the same. But I don't know if they'll do that or if they want to change it up. But we've seen anniversary characters in the past, right? Like the first one that comes to mind is like the 6th anniversary. Goku and Vegeta both had Reps of Universe 7, and then they had a different category each. The 5th year, they both had Final Trump card, and then had like Fusion and Potara. So they've done this in the past, right, where the anniversary headliners have very similar leader skills. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think the leader skills will be down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.